And you must be thinking, why the two of us are sitting right in front of you?
But first, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Chong Yong, currently a Year 3 Pharmaceutical Science undergraduate in NUS.
Yeah, and I'm Jeffrey, Year 3 Computer Science student in NUS as well. So we are currently on the NOC, Greater Bay Area program, and starting this podcast initiative.
Yes, so basically this video will be the first official video for our channel that will set in stone for the journey that in the future you will be embarking with us. So going back to that topic, what and why are two dudes doing here gonna start a channel like this? Right. Maybe if we just share with your some of our thoughts, and perhaps audiences like you who align with us, hey, we can maybe build a community right here. Right. So let's talk about what. Like what can you expect from this podcast?
So this podcast we mainly looking to curate genuine and really insightful content for all of your audiences. So we are focusing on providing more clarity and directions on our experiences. Yeah, so we're doing more of a sharing of our experiences as well as our journey to see if you can relate to it. So the few things that we're currently looking to provide you is on personal development and university experiences. Yeah, so because we're also currently on the NLC program, we'll probably give you some more insights on the startup ecosystem in China. And yeah, more to come. To be honest, we will be also exploring the path as we go along, and we hope to do that with you, the audiences.
Feel free to put down in the comments what are certain themes that you also like to tune in. But I think the more important thing is, the reason why we do that is because Gen Zs like you and I, in certain times when we talk to our friends, when we have deep conversations, we'll talk about, hey, what do you want to do in the future? And we'll find ourselves in a situation where we are lost. Sometimes we'll see things like, see how long. Sometimes we'll say things like, see what this company offer me. Or we'll say a lot of uncertain comments about our future. If you happen to realize, not just I myself, not just we, but a lot of us in this generation, we do feel like that. It's really due to the unforeseen circumstances. Right now, the world is rapidly changing. So many things are happening. It's normal to feel this way. And at some point, you see things like this kind of trend starting to happen, like 躺平 in China, right? People will start to, you know what? Maybe I'll just go day by day. Maybe I just don't think so much. But what if people like yourself, who really invested in your personal development, who is really invested in growing yourself as a person, do you have such resources that's catered to you? Do you have such a platform that you can reach out to?
Yeah, so we feel that sometimes when we're looking for experience of others to kind of like see how it fits into our context. But all this kind of content is normally, you can't really find it very easily on current social media platform. So YouTube and Instagram, they are not like curated content just for our purpose.
Even we are living in the digital age where we have so much resources online, yet we still feel uncertain and lack of clarity towards our future. So we are hoping that through our podcast or through our channel, we can curate specific content that really helps with our personal development. People like you and I, who are very invested in your own personal growth, your own personal development, your own future. This content will be meant for you. Yeah.
So, I pretty summarize what our podcast is about.
Yes. Yeah. And our main brand, we'll call it Lepak Lab Productions. And in the near future, we'll have our podcast series, which is called Lepak Lab Podcast. So, stay tuned, because very soon we'll launch our first very episode for our Lepak Lab podcast, where we'll talk about how did we end up here in China, in Shenzhen, and what's our journey like. So maybe for those that are interested in NOC, stay tuned for our NOC series.
Yes.
Yeah, and until then, we'll see you in our first Lepak Lab podcast episode.
Yes. If you ever feel lost, feel free to lepak with us in our podcast.
Let's chill, guys.